Good morning, Year 2. I hope you had a wonderful time back at school last week, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about your experiences. Today we're going to try and finish our year by completing one more chapter of our Maths No Problem. And this chapter is based on word problems, so it's going to look mainly at lots of different types of calculations and really get that brain going to think about what strategies and what steps you need to take to answer a question, and also which calculation you're going to use. So let's start by having a look at the in focus task. How do we find the number of marbles Amira has left? Should we add or subtract? Let's read what she says. I had 89 marbles. I gave 16 marbles to Sam and 9 marbles to Emma. So after she'd given away some of her marbles, we want to know how many she has left. Stop the video, see if you can work out the answer and think about, are we going to add or are we going to subtract? Now, hopefully after your discussion with an adult, you would have noticed that we need to do two different things in this problem, and we call this a two-step problem. Now, we know she had 89 marbles to start with. We know she gave 16 marbles to Sam and 9 marbles to Emma. So the first thing we need to do is work out how many marbles Amira gave away altogether. Then the next step would be to find out how many marbles Amira had left. And we can't complete that second step until we've found out the first answer. So let's have a look at the let's learn. Linking back to the story, we know Sam received 16 marbles and Emma received 9 marbles. So altogether, Amira gave away 25 marbles. Now, you may have added those two numbers together in very different ways. Thinking about your knowledge of number bonds, the most efficient way to add those numbers together would be to start with a 16, knowing that you need 4 more to make 20, take 4 away from the 9, leaving you with 5. So your new calculation would be 20 add 5, therefore 20 add 5 is 25. If you solved it in a different way, that's fantastic, but make sure you're able to explain it to an adult and tell them why you think that's the most efficient way to add those two numbers together. Looking at question B then, how many marbles did Amira have left? We know she started with 89 marbles. And we now know that she gave away 25 marbles. So she had 64 marbles left. Now, the strategy I would have expected you to use with this calculation would be column subtraction, where no renaming is needed. So that should have been a really easy strategy that you could have used to solve this problem. So in conclusion then, we had to add the numbers together to find the number of marbles that Amira gave away to Emma and Sam. And then we had to subtract the number of marbles that she gave away from the number of marbles she had in the first place. Let's look at another strategy. Now this time, Emma has got 42 stickers and Amira has 81 stickers. Then Emma bought 20 more stickers. First part of this question. How many stickers did Emma have after buying 20 more stickers? Stop the video and solve this. Okay, so on the screen you can see a bar model that has been used to illustrate this. And what I'm going to do is talk through the problem to show you how I would have solved it, or we would have modelled how we would solve this in school. So we can see we've got a green part of our bar model and a yellow part of our bar model. And we need to think about, first of all, are we going to add or subtract? So let's remind ourselves of the question. Emma has 42 stickers and Amira has 81 stickers. Then Emma bought 20 more stickers. So that's our information. We're trying to find out the answer to A. How many stickers did Emma have after buying 20 more stickers? So thinking about our known numbers, we know that the green bar represents the 42 stickers that Emma had originally. And the yellow bar represents the 20 extra stickers that Emma had. So the calculation we're trying to work out is this question mark, how many altogether? And of course, when we're trying to find out how many altogether, we are going to add. So our calculation should be 42 add 20. Now I'd hope you use your knowledge of place value here. Easily add that 20 to the 40 to make a total of 62 stickers. So Emma had 62 stickers. Let's look at the diagram now and the question, the next step for B, because it now says, how many more stickers than Emma did Amira have after Emma bought more? Let's read that again. How many more stickers than Emma did Amira have after Emma bought more? Pause the video and use that bar model diagram to see if you can work out, are you going to add or subtract? Okay, so this one looks a little bit trickier, but we actually need to use some of the information that we've gathered from question A. Now, we know that Emma has 62 stickers altogether, so we can label this part of our bar model with 62, because that's how many she has altogether. We then know that Amira has 81 stickers altogether. So we're going to write that here because that bar, the pink and the orange combined, represent that they're at 81 altogether. Now looking at where Emma's bar ends, can you see it ends at the end of the pink bar in Amira's? So we know that the value of that pink bar is 62. And we're trying to find out the value of the orange bar because we want to know how many more stickers Amira has now compared to Emma's 62. So the calculation we should be writing is 81, because Amira has 81 stickers and we're finding the difference between the two. Take away the 62 that Emma has to give us the remainder. Now the strategy I would expect you to use for this one, and is potentially the most efficient, is column subtraction. So I'm going to model it here, but this is where we have to rename and regroup. So we've got 81 take away 62. Now just as a quick reminder for those of you who need it, start with our ones column. 1 take away 2. Can that be done? It can't, can it? So we're going to regroup the tens to become 7 tens and borrow 1 10. So our new step will be 11 take away 2, which of course is 9. We can then move to the tens column where we have got now not 80, but we've got 70. 70 take away 60 leaves us with 10. But of course we only put the 1 underneath that column. We don't write a 1 and a 0, otherwise that's 109, because a 0 is representing the number that's in the ones column, and of course we've already got 9 there. So the answer would be 19. Okay, so we can say Amira has 19 more stickers than Emma had. Okay, we're going to move on to some guided practice now. You've got 3 questions, and I'm only showing 1 question at a time, so you can really have a think about whether you're adding these numbers together, whether you're subtracting them, and thinking about the breakdown of those 2 different steps, A and B. Pause the video and have a go, and what I'll do in a moment is I'll model how we might solve this to help you. Okay, question 1. Ruby baked 50 strawberry tarts and 50 cherry tarts. She gave away 67 tarts. A. How many tarts did Ruby bake altogether? And then question B, how many tarts did she have left? So looking at the first part of this problem, we need to find out how many tarts Ruby baked altogether. Now we know that she baked 50 strawberry tarts and 50 cherry tarts. So that's how many she made. And that's what the question's asking us to do. And hopefully all of you know that really simply. She made 100 tarts. Okay, so question A, they're nice and simple. Question B then is where it gets a bit trickier, because question B, we want to know, after she'd made all those tarts, how many she had left. So the calculation we need to be doing is the 100 tarts that she baked in the first place minus the 67 she gave away. Now, I wonder what method you used to solve this problem. There are various ways you could do this, but I'm wondering if you used the most efficient method. Now, the most efficient method would be to take the 67 and count on until you get to 100. So I would have used a number line, a bit like this, and my knowledge of number bonds, because I know if I add 3 to the 7, that would take me to 70. And then I know I can jump in tens from 70 to 80, to 90, and to 100. Sorry about my writing year 2, it's a bit tricky doing it on your laptop. So I have counted on from 67 to 100, and I can see by looking at the amount of jumps I've done, I have done 10, 20, 30, and 3 more. So the answer would be 33. And for those of you who want to, you could challenge yourself and you could check this by using the inverse operation. So if I know that 100 take away 67 is 33, I should know that 33 add 67 is 100. And if that does work, then it means you've got the right answer. Let's have a go at the next question. Question 2. Charles has 82 stamps. 45 of them are local stamps. The rest are foreign stamps. So question A, first of all, how many foreign stamps does Charles have? Are you going to use addition or subtraction? And question B, how many more local stamps than foreign stamps does Charles have? Pause the video and see if you can solve this problem. Okay, so let's have a go at question A. How many foreign stamps does Charles have? Well, we know that altogether Charles has 82 stamps. And we know that 45 of them are local, therefore the rest are foreign stamps. So we're actually going to take away the amount of local stamps that he has to give us the answer of how many foreign stamps he has. So the calculation we should be doing is 82 take away 45. Now again, the strategy I would encourage you to be using is the column method. So I'm going to demonstrate it. 82 take away 45. Okay, again, this is one of the tricky ones because we have to regroup. So 2 take away 5 we can't do. So we're going to borrow a 10 from the tens column. So the 8 becomes 7 tens. And then the 2 with an extra 10 becomes 12. Now we can do that easily. 12 take away 5 leaves us with 7. And then we can look at our tens column. 70 take away 40 leaves us with 30. So he's got 37 foreign stamps. Okay, and I'm just going to put an F there to remind me that's the amount of foreign stamps. And I'm going to put an L under the 45 to remind me that's his local stamps. So looking at question B then, we now want to know how many more local stamps than foreign stamps does Charles have? So we know there are 45 local stamps and we know there are 37 local stamps. Now those two numbers are actually quite close to each other. So we can simply do that by finding the difference. And I'm going to model that on a number line. Because I know if I've got 37, if I use my number bonds and add 3, that automatically takes me to 40. And then the difference between 40 and 45 is a nice big easy jump of 5. So looking at the jump I've made, I've done a jump of 5 and a jump of 3. So that means I've done a jump of 8. The difference between the amount of foreign stamps and local stamps is 8. Okay, last one together before you do your own. Are you ready? Question 3. Ravi sold 42 books. He sold 29 fewer books than Holly sold. So question A, how many books did Holly sell? And question B, how many books did Ravi and Holly sell altogether? Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so let's look at question A first. We want to find out how many books did Holly sell. So looking at the information, we know that Ravi sold 42 books, but he sold 29 fewer books than Holly, which means Holly sold 29 books more than Ravi. So we're simply going to add 42 and 29 together to give us the answer of how many books Holly sold altogether. Okay, and again, the strategy I suggest that you should have used is column addition. Okay, nice and easy, nice and simple. 42, add 29, start with the ones column, 9 add 2 is 11, so put the 1 and carry the 10 across. 40 add 20 is 60, add 10 more is 70, answer is 71. Holly sold 71 books altogether. Question B. How many books did Ravi and Holly sell altogether? Well, we know that 71 is the amount that Holly sold. That H is reminding me that's Holly's amount. And looking back at the question, it clearly says that Ravi sold 42 books. Simply going to add 42 and 71 together. Now, whether you do this in your head using your knowledge of place value or whether you use the columns addition, absolutely fine. 2 add 1 is 3, 70 add 40, 70 add 30 is 100, plus 10 more is 110. So we're going to put 110, and of course the 0 would have gone there. So altogether, we can say that Ravi and Holly sold 113 books. Now, you've got lots of problems to solve here, mainly focused on addition and subtraction. You've got lots of images to help you. Please feel free, Year 2s, if you want to use practical materials, then use bits of pasta, bits of Lego, draw pictures, whatever will help you. But the important thing is you think about how you're going to break down the questions. Question 1 does help you break down the different steps you need to take, but as you go further on, it does get trickier, okay? Don't give up. Try and try again. Try a different strategy if you're not sure. So here's question 1. And question 2. And question 3. And question 4. You'll notice this is harder because you have to work out if you're adding or subtracting. And that's it. Those worksheets are available on the school website, or if you want to just jot down in your book, that's absolutely fine. Well done today, Year 1, a long session, a complicated session, but I look forward to doing some more with you on Wednesday. Have a lovely afternoon.